What's up, guys? Ron Harris here. We are now less than a week away from the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Judging will take place next Friday night. Tonight, 1 week from tonight, is going to be the finals. We're going to have either a new Mr. Olympia champion, or we could very well have a repeat Mr. Olympia champion in Samson Dauda, or we could have one of the past couple winners, either Derek or Hadi Choopan, getting it again. I want to look at some updates with you guys, see what we can figure out here. So I'll start with Hadi, because Hadi has not been posting a lot on Instagram. Neither has Hani Rambod. Today he did drop a chest training video that was dropped at 2 weeks out, the 2 week out point. So let's see what we can figure out from this. Let's take a look. Let's make this full screen. And here we go. So we know he's got incredible muscle density, detail, maturity. These are Hadi Choopan's trademarks. This is how he's been winning for the past few years, various events like the Arnold Classic last year, the Mr. Olympia back in 2022, and what he hopes is going to be another Olympia win. Remember, we have not had a repeat Mr. Olympia winner since Rami did it in 2021, having won it in 2020 and 21. Ever since then, it's changed hands every year for the past 3 years. Hadi, Derek, Samson, and we have Behrouz in the mix this year. Let's take a look at some more posing stuff. He's got a little bit here at the end. Let's see, after this, a little fast, those reps for my liking. Okay, so here he goes. He doesn't strip down. Nobody, the only one I saw completely stripped down of the top guys was Nick Walker. But yeah, we know Hadi's got incredible midsection, serratus detail. Midsection is actually one of his strong points, even though he doesn't have the prettiest shape, doesn't have a tiny little waist, but he gets incredible detail in the abdominal area, the serratus, all that good stuff. He is the Persian wolf. I mean, this guy never fails to bring it. He's never been off. Sometimes he's a tiny bit flatter or fuller, but the condition is very, very consistent with this guy. Can Hadi do it? Ronnie Coleman has him winning. Of course, you know, that's one man's opinion. If you ask on this chat, who you got winning, we're going to get many, many different answers. Many different answers. Go back to this. You can see your comments so far. What do we got? Ron, have you watched the Ivan Bodybuilding series on Mike Summerfield's height? I wasn't going to get too much into that because everyone's done a video about Mike Summerfield's height. All I can say is they're going to have to do his heighting publicly. Otherwise, everyone's going to suspect him of cheating by using that big hairstyle of his to gain an extra inch in height with a bunch of gel in it or hair. I use this spiking glue that's super hard. You can't even push that thing down once it's in your hair, especially if you have a lot of hair. Not me. So no, I'm not participating in that. So hyped for the Olympia, yeah. I mean, it is literally the only night of the year 2 nights in a row, I guess, that I will stay up past midnight willingly. You know, maybe if I go out every once in a great while. Nick's taking the show home, says Johnny Sponge. Okay, I don't need to see this. All right. Who else do we have? Samson Dauda put out a video. This was also 2 weeks out. It just dropped today. Samson's staying covered up, of course. What I did see, I'll show you from his Instagram, were some shots from a back workout that was right around that same time. He posted it 2 days ago. But look at this. That is nuts. Look at that. That's just relaxed. Look at the back. The thickness on Samson Dauda's back, blah, 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 has improved so much over the past, say, 2 to 3 years. 4 years ago, his back wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. It was nothing special. He's done a lot to bring it up, and it shows. But I'm looking into conditioning here, because typically the back separation is one area. If your back is really crisp and clean, obviously the hams and the glutes are the last area for most guys to come in. But when the back is that dry and detailed, and you can even see in the arms there, look at that nice crisp separation there between the biceps, the brachialis, and the long head of the triceps. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I mean, I'd be so surprised if we're not going to see the absolute best version of Samson we've ever seen. People are worried he's going to be too small. Well, 300 pounds was great. You know, here's how he looked at the Arnold early in the year. That was a 300, and I think he was 305 or 307 or something there. It was good, but we all wanted to see just a few more pounds stripped away from that with that same size. Of course, we don't want him to get smoother or I'm sorry, smaller. We don't want him to lose that roundness, that fullness that he has to the muscles. And I don't see that happening. This was 3 days ago. I do see Samson. That's a cool machine. Huh, never saw anything like that. Cimmerian. Yeah, they stocked this whole gym, that company. I think we're going to see the best Samson we've ever seen, really. I'd be so surprised if we don't, because he lost the Arnold Classic to Derek based on condition. And he knows Derek's coming for the title again. Hadi's coming for the title again. You have guys like Nick. It's going to be very, very tough show. Let's go back to his training here. Let me take a couple dots. Hope they bring everyone for the press conference like the old times, all the athletes. They can't have all the athletes because I think there's something like 350 athletes competing this year. Maybe you're just talking about the Mr. Olympia, which would be 20 men exactly. That's a really cool round number they came up with for this year. It was going to be 19, but then Hadi got his visa. Would have been 21, but Raphael had to pull out with gut health issues. Just announced the athletes will be remastered barefoot. Well, I mean, no, when they do their height for men's physique, I'm sorry, classic physique, they are barefoot. And if they have, a lot of hair on top, they're supposed to push the hair down with the top of the measuring stick or whatever you want to call that thing. Samson, that green pop. Samson's doing exactly what I was hoping he would do based on that guest posing that we saw, what was that, 8 weeks ago now, close to it. Samson was ahead of schedule for him in terms of condition. And I said, I think what he's going to do, him and Marlena, obviously it's under wraps. That's the coach and the client. Nobody else knows exactly what they're doing. But I said, I bet he's going to get in shape early and then spend the last couple weeks filling out. And that's exactly what he seems to be doing. This is 2 weeks ago. I can only imagine he's fuller now. Kalyan, what's up, brother? I have a feeling Samson will become shredded as he did. Yeah. He can't be anything but shredded this time. He has no choice. He knows. This isn't the old days where Mr. Olympia could keep the title even if he was 90%. No, those days are done. It doesn't matter if you're the incumbent, if you're the reigning champion. Nope, none of that anymore. You're the best guy on that day, you win. If you're not, you lose. I like the t-shirt on. Thank you. That's one of my Jose Raymond shirts. It's an extra small. Appreciate that, Jose. Starline Fitness. It'll have to be at 10 a.m. London time. Oh, is this about, you're talking about the classic. I know the classic height thing is a big topic today. Samson's has never been completely peeled yet, Johnny, is what you need to say. Maybe he won't be this time. Maybe, you never know. But maybe we will see the most peeled, shredded, dry, grainy version of Samson Dauda. And that Samson Dauda is going to be damn hard to beat. Hope the show is better run this year. Yeah, I mean, so many moving parts, 350 athletes. What's it, 11 divisions, including wheelchair? It's a lot to keep organized. Plus the amateur Olympia. They're running that too, and that's another few hundred athletes in that. That stupid camera panning and animated backgrounds. Yeah, Samson does pretty straightforward videos. I like that. Some class pros said they were measuring multiple pairs of socks. Yeah, these classic guys, they're trying to pull fast ones. Big love, Ron. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate it. Kali, in my humble opinion, for Derek, it's going to be a crapshoot because he peaked at the Arnold. And he missed a couple of notches at the Pittsburgh, but luckily edged Nick. Let's take a look at his most recent video. Where was it? Samson Dauda, Derek Lunsford. What was we say in Boston? Derek Lunsford. I can do the accent when I want to. Or I can hide it when I want to. So this was 7 days out. So this video was yesterday. Okay, let's get through this silly ad. So I'll say I'm not loving the condition. Now, obviously I'm looking at a dark gym. It's not It's not the best lighting situation here for showing definition. That being said, Samson looked a hell of a lot harder, and most of the other guys that I'm seeing look a lot harder. We know Derek's never had a lot of detail and separation in the arms and the shoulders anyway. It's going to be tough when he's up there with guys who do have a lot more of that going for them. Talk about guys like Hadi. Even Nick's got better separation and detail than Derek. But Derek does have a beautiful physique. It was good enough to win the Mr. Olympia. That's not Derek. It's somebody else. I don't think he does any posing in this video. He typically does not peel down at all and do any posing, Derek. Oh, at the very end, he does a couple poses. Let's see. His training partner's getting a lot of exposure in this video. Good for him. I think he has a couple training partners. So here's all the posing we're going to get out of Derek at this point. Okay, I mean, he looks great. We know what he looks like. The same knocks that we're going to give and the same praises we're going to give about his physique, we've been doing that for years. Strong points are that structure. His structure and shape are his strong points, I would say. Of course, he's got great mass. And from the back, he's got one of the greatest backs we've ever seen. It's just astonishing. He put up a little montage here. I'm going to show you guys that. You might have seen it already, but man, talk about back training inspiration. Derek put this up from his back training video. He saved us the trouble of watching the whole thing and just shared with us 5 of the greatest angles here. So he's probably got the best back in the sport today. It's up there. It's up there. I'm trying to think of who might have a better back. I honestly can't think of who that might be. Oh, what am I showing? No, I want to show this. Sorry, guys. My bad. Share this tab instead. Sorry about that. Okay, now we can see that Lunsford back. Anybody else's gut feeling tell him it's going to come down to Samson versus Nick, Mass Monster. A lot of people, actually, ELR, have been speculating for months now that that's their top 2. Basically, we saw them at Pittsburgh. I'll show you guys that battle. So far, that was the best battle of the year, but I think we're going to see something even crazier at the Olympia in terms of, we're going to see something even more exciting this the Olympia. There's no doubt in my mind. But everybody wants to see the rematch between Nick and Derek because so many people had Nick winning. Even Tyler Mannion had him winning. But in the end, it came down to that crazy 1-point decision after an extra round of posing, an extra comparison round, because they were tied, and you can't have a tie in bodybuilding. So many people are eager to see Nick beat Derek this year. And, it's unfortunate because Derek's a good guy. Derek is not a judge. It's not his fault that in the end, Steve Weinberger gave him that extra point and the win. You can't blame Derek for that, but a lot of people did, especially all the Nick Walker fans. And Nick Walker gained a lot of new fans after that show. Back to that. Most excited, Mr. Rose says, yeah, this is a great lineup. I mean, if you look back at the lineups from the past few years, there's never been a really weak Mr. Olympia, but there were some years that were not that competitive compared to others. This one is nuts. He's going to win the Olympia this year, Goku. I think Samson's going to keep the title, honestly. That's my opinion. If you guys think it's going to be Nick or Hadi or Behrouz or Andrew Jack, I hear some people talking about Andrew Jack. I've even heard some people saying Martin could win. I don't see Martin winning, not this year. With improvements in the future, who knows? But I don't see him in the running for it. Only thing Hadi has to battle besides an extremely competitive lineup is Father Time. He's north of 40. He's the very tail end of the 40. I think he's about 37. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. But he's in his late 30s. He's like 30, somewhere between 36, 38, somewhere in that range. That much I do know. Let's go back to Nick Walker's. Nick actually posted a full body shot, which most of these guys are not doing. Most of these guys are only showing us little glimpses. I'll give Nick credit for showing he does have shorts on. Can you see it? Yeah, there we go. So the one thing I will say about this, and I know you guys are like, how dare you criticize Nick? His shoulders and his arms do make his chest look small there. You got to see that, guys, right? He doesn't have a small chest, but look at how dominant those shoulders are and those massive arms he's got. The chest looks pretty small and narrow in comparison to that. He's younger than both Samson and Andrew. Yeah, Samson is 39, and I believe Andrew is I think Andrew's 40. He's got to be 40 because he seems like he was 39 for a very long time. He must have turned 40 at some point. Samson has that sunken face. Yeah, was it? I'll show you one second. I want to just show Nick one more. I want to show his side chest because this is a freak. His side shots are freaky. You know, Nick is freaky from all angles, but from the side, he's so massive. He's got that front to back thickness that not everyone has. I would love to see a little more chest thickness on him, of course. Again, look at the massive shoulders and arms. They overpower the chest. I'd like to see the chest match, and it would need to come up. I'm just going to throw out a number, 30% bigger than what we see there to match, to be just as freaky and impressive as the shoulders and the arms. But who was it? Trying to remember who did the montage of his face. I'll find it in a second, guys, because I really do want to show it to you guys. It was in my group chat. We had it. It's Kevin Gretsch. What's his? I'll find it, guys. Where was this from? Fitness Vault. Okay. Fitness Vault. Yeah, this was, again, Samson's not showing his physique, the whole, shirtless or anything like that. But when you see the face tells you everything you need to know. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, I think you can see, guys. Look at that. See the cheeks? The fat is so low in this human being, Samson. His cheeks are sunken in. His eyes are sunken in. Look at that. I mean, I hate to say it makes him look like 10 years older, but it does, because anybody, when you strip away all the fat from the face, and now it's almost like that's why they call it a death face, because you're starting to look like a skull facially. It's a rough look. I mean, it's worse on women because we're not used to seeing women's faces like that, but even on guys, that tells you right there, this guy is lean. I've never seen his face like that. It's always had a fuller look. What's up, Blue and G? He's always had a more fullness to the face. So this tells me he's already in better condition probably right now than he's ever been in his life. Kultua Skulna, 17. My prediction is Hadi wins. Or it could be Hadi or Nick. Dauda is second. 3 is wide open. Okay. I mean, I've seen Nick as low as, I've seen a lot of people with Nick winning, or even more people have Nick runner up to Samson. When I had Lee Haney on the video that was posted yesterday, he had Nick down 6, but Lee is biased towards more aesthetically pleasing physiques, taller guys. So I knew that was coming. I still don't get why so many people think Nick is a shoo-in for top 2. Couldn't beat enough Derek. I don't know. He's got a huge fan base, Black Patron, and his fan base grew exponentially after he lost to Derek. Remember, right before that show, a lot of people were talking shit because he dropped out of the 20. Well, he didn't drop out of the 23 Olympia. He tore his hamstring at about a week out, was forced to withdraw. 24, again, didn't compete all year. And then right before the Olympia, had this mysterious withdrawal from the show, which we never really got a satisfactory answer. So people were writing him off, calling him Nick Talker. He's done. He's a head case. He can't handle it. Whatever. They were talking all kinds of shit. Then he shows up at Pittsburgh, looking phenomenal. And of course, as always, people always just we have short memories in the sport, which is good. I mean, it's good that people don't hold grudges. As long as you come back looking amazing, the fans will love you. They'll forgive anything, any bad showing from the recent past, as long as you show up looking awesome. This was his Pittsburgh look. That midsection does still trouble me. I don't see how he could possibly beat Samson. Now, he does keep it sucked in most of the time, but a lot of times you see when he's between poses or he's walking around, he lets it out, and that's going to be an issue at the Olympia because Samson doesn't have anything like a gut. Don't assume Nick even shows up. Just argue it hurts, but well, so we're 6 days out. He's just got to hold on for 6 more days, Mass Monster. If he can stay injury-free for just 6 more days, I think Nick and Hadi will wipe out the floor with Derek. He's not even close to their condition. That being said, strictly from the update seen so far, No, he knows on the day of the show. Yeah, Derek is not showing a lot from what I'm seeing in like, tank tops and stuff. It doesn't look like he's as shredded as I would like to see him, but who knows? Maybe he can pull out a fast one the next 6 days. I feel like Nick is going to finally bring it. Well, Nick's brought it. I mean, this, except for that, the wide waist, I hate to be that dick, but it just, I can't ignore it. My eyes keep getting drawn back. It's like what Milo Sarshev said. The midsection is critical because that's the center of the body from the front. The guys come out for the first time. You're drawn to the middle of the physique. You're drawn to that midsection. If it's narrow waist, flat midsection, really well-developed abdominals, that's a plus. If it's a thick, blocky midsection, a wide waist, a bubble gut kind of thing, that's a disadvantage. Nick losing to Pittsburgh was the best thing that could have happened. I agree. He's pissed. He put that energy towards physique and shows. Yeah, I mean, he's bigger than ever. He was like 280 just a week ago or something, right? He just gets bigger and bigger. I don't know how much bigger this freaking kid can get. I call him a kid. He's like 31. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I think he put a video up from that too, didn't he? Yeah, here we go. I mean, this is one of the most massive human beings, the freakiest bodybuilder we've ever seen. He's up there with guys like Marcus Rule, Nasser Al-Somebody, Paco Batista, whoever, for those of you who remember who he was. Oh, he's still alive. I'm sorry. Gustavo Bedell was pretty freaky. R.I.P. Yeah, Nick's going to be hard to beat. I think he's going to beat most guys. I could see him as high as second. I don't see him beating Samson. That's just my speculation. I could very well be proven once again wrong, Harris. Can't imagine Nick in top 2. No way. Well, look at all the comments here. USA Tube. A lot of people have him winning. He's got a huge fan base. Huge. For Nick to break into the top 2, he needs to bring his best ever package. Someone has to miss his mark. Yeah, I think Behrouz may surprise a few of the top guys. His time to shine. Yeah, his name means, I found this out. Let's go to Milos's page. Milos was kind enough to repost because one of you viewers from Iran, translated his name for me from Farsi. Was it Milos's page? Yeah, it was in Milos's page. I'll show you the one update. He's only posted one physique update, Milos, of Behrouz since he got here, and this is it. It's kind of a time-lapse thing. Yeah, kind of grainy, not the best resolution on this, but it's a big dude. He's 5'10 or 5'11. That seems to be an issue of contention. Somewhere around 260 pounds on stage. He's a big, thick dude, and he gets into crazy condition. Crazy. That's Milos. What was it? Yeah, he reposted. Yeah, he's arrived. Yeah, so I posted this because one of you guys, sorry, I don't know offhand who it was. He said, he translated his name in Farsi. Behrouz means better day or update, and Tabani means shine or giver of light. It's a pretty cool nickname. Yeah, I mean, I don't see this guy out of the top 6, which is, it's obviously he's going to have to knock out someone like Andrew or Martin to do that because Samson, Derek, Hadi, that's 3 guys right there. I don't see them out of the top 6, any of them. Nick, I don't see Nick out of the top 6. So there's 4 guys right there. So now, logically, the next spot is going to have to go to either Andrew, Martin, or Behrouz. We'll see. So what do you got? Samson, Hadi, Derek, Andrew, Martin. I'd like to show more of Andrew, but Andrew never shows. I've never seen him post physique updates. He's got like a sleeveless shirt on. You can see his shoulders and arms, but they're always massive. The only reason I'm not showing more Andrew Jack is because he doesn't show much. There's just not a lot to show. Why is it crazy to say Martin can win? Yeah, maybe I'm being unfair to him. Maybe I'm being unfair. I mean, let's take a look at what he looked like last year. He was damn good. I mean, 4th place last year, and myself and a lot of people had him ahead of Derek last year. So if that's true, then he could have, should have been 3rd place last year. He's got an amazing physique. I don't know if he's gotten any better. When he competed earlier this season, was it Pittsburgh again, the Arnold? Well, anyway, in the springtime, 7 months ago, I didn't see any improvement. I know he had put on some size, but I didn't see any difference personally. It doesn't matter though. He gets, Boss of Outlawed, his coach, helps him get into great condition. He's got great shape, structure, that round, bubbly look to the muscles. The only reason I say it's crazy to state that Martin could win is because he's never beaten Hadi, Derek, or Samson. Not to say that he couldn't. Everyone has never beaten someone else until they do. This could be that time that he makes that leap and beats everybody. I'd be very, very surprised, but stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. It could happen. Behrouz managed to improve his legs. He's not going to improve his legs now. It's too late. Whatever he's got for legs, that's what he's got. It's interesting comparison. Somebody did a bodybuilding semnut. What is this? Bodybuilding semnut Nutella. They did an interesting comparison here between the top 2 Iranian bodybuilders in the world, Persian. I think that's awesome that we're probably going to have 2 guys from Iran in the top 6, maybe top 5, maybe, who knows? Could be like the top 2. You never know. The Olympia is so wide open this year, and there's so many guys who most of these guys have beaten each other at one point or another. Yeah. And Behrouz doesn't have the quads that Hadi has. And he's got a little higher lats and a longer waist. But overall, he's got a very pleasing shape and structure. He's a big dude. He's got better biceps than Hadi, I think. Hadi's a little shorter. From the back, he's got these massive glutes that are shredded to the bone. I actually think he beats Hadi in this shot. The rear double. Side chest, he gives him a great run too. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So it's going to be fire. Hopefully no controversy. There's always controversy because it's a subjectively judged sport. It's judged basically in a matter of opinion. They do have standards. They have ideals. They have attributes they're looking for. It's the best total package of all these factors: mass, shape, structure, condition, presentation, symmetry. If someone has one leg that's way smaller than the other leg, there's so many factors to put into it. And people have their favorites. So if your favorite doesn't win or doesn't do as well as you thought, you're going to be upset about it. And that's where all the controversies happen. The only people who are going to be happy at the end of the night, and it's the case every year at the Olympia, are the guy who wins and his fans. Pretty much everybody else is pissed off. That's just the way it goes. Because these guys are all amazing. They're fantastic. Where do you have Hadi this year, Ron? I don't know, Richard Ratner. I don't know. I mean, I think he could win. I think he could be as low as 5th place. It's all going to come down to who brings that elusive, optimal package of fullness and condition. They all have their strong points. They all have their weak points. I'd be very, very surprised if Hadi is out of the top 4, put it that way. I could see him winning. I could see him doing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I mean, good Lord, there's so many. Hadi, if he improves his back, will get the title. Well, like I said, nobody's improving at this point. They're not making any progress in the next 6 days on their physique. It is what it is. And I haven't seen Hadi's physique, honestly, change much at all in the past 5 years or so. He won the Vancouver in 2019. That's when he really exploded as far as popularity, and everybody wanted him on the Olympia stage. Did he get here in 19? I think he did. Was that his first Olympia? 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. I'm not sure if it was 19 or 20 was his first year, but he's been a factor every year that he's been in the Olympia. He hasn't been out of the top 4 once. Be surprised if Behrouz breaks to the top 5, taking either Andrews or Martin spots. Yeah, Behrouz is damn good. I mean, as soon as his name was added to the list when he got that visa, a lot of guys moved down a spot. A lot of guys. Unfortunately for them, it's a great thing for Behrouz and his fans. What's up? What's up, Muscle Central? Mike Diamond. It could be pretty, but Nick is going to bring a what the fuck moment. Oh, dude, when Nick walks out there, the place is just going to explode. People are going to go bonkers for Nick Walker. Not really mind blown. Yeah, I don't see any. He's been in really good condition, Nick Walker, for a while now. I don't see much difference. I'm sure he's going to tighten up and drop the water, and he'll dial it in. He's got a game plan that seems to be consistent for him. He looked great at Pittsburgh. Looked great at winning New York Pro for the third time. 20 years older. I don't know what that means. Samson's low-key striking on camera elements of LeBron. Yeah, that was a reference to the death face makes you look 20 years older. I agree. Samson's low-key striking on camera with LeBron and James. Yeah, I did see that resemblance. I didn't say anything. Don't think he'll be much different than Pittsburgh. What could he really have done? He got a little bigger, and we're talking about Nick. He did get a little bigger. I mean, but he was already big enough. It's not like he needed to be any bigger. J Matt says, I was at last year's Olympia. What we saw in person was very different from all the videos. Yeah, when we say you got to be there, and I'll tell you this, it's not enough to be there. You need to be close. And I've had one year I went to Olympia on my own. It was 2016. That was the year that MD owed me a ton of money, and they didn't have the money to send me that year. They were in dire straits financially back in 2016. And I bought my own ticket at the last minute, and I was so high up, nosebleed section. Even the big screens were not big enough for me to get a really good look. I would have been better off just staying home and watching the show from home on my computer. But I digress. Even AJ at AC25 looked 10 years old to do good conditioning. Andrew jacked. We should show Andrew. Let's give Andrew a little bit of love. I know he hasn't posted any really recent updates at all, but let's at least look him. That's Samson, my bad. So I just saw AC for Arnold Classic. AC Andrew. All right, so let's take a look at Andrew there. So that was a good version of Andrew. He didn't look great at FIBO. He looked good enough. Yeah, this condition, I know this is not the greatest video quality. The stream, it's better when you're close up. When the shot moves in, as we say in the biz, it looks better. No respect to Lee, but we ain't in the 90s anymore. Yeah, I mean, Lee has this. Everybody's got their biases, everybody. The Nick Walker fans, they like that type of Zeke. The Samson and the Andrew fans, they like that type of Zeke, a little more aesthetic. You know, everybody likes what they like. It's kind of like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and so is what you prefer in physiques. It's in the eye of the beholder. We all have our own preferences and opinions. Nick Walker has that freak factor, but it should not supersede better structure come out of mass condition. Yeah, I mean, Samson's a big dude. Don't get it twisted. Pound for pound, Nick's probably the biggest guy on that stage because he's 5'7" on a good day. And I think he's going to be close to 280. That's a big dude. I mean, Samson is 6 foot even, and he's come in around 300. So you take away 5 inches in height and only maybe 20 pounds, that makes Nick the bigger man. Doesn't make him the better man, but is the bigger man. Behrouz or Andrew jacked will come out on top. What do you think? If Andrew brings better condition from the back than we've ever seen, and if Samson is not his best, I mean, Andrew could win. Andrew's got an amazing physique. It's beautiful. It's just, so I'm saying this Olympia is so wide open. There's a tribute to Cedric McMillan, who did his posing routine with a blindfold on. If you're wondering why Andrew has that blindfold on. Samson in person looks insane. Once he marches on, you forget everyone else. If you want aesthetics, watch Classic Open. It's only for the freaky ones. Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like Classic was created so that the Open guys wouldn't have to have those little tiny waists anymore. We could let the Classic guys worry about being perfectly aesthetically pleasing. Houston Fuchs. Derek won the Arnold's clearly. He won Pittsburgh, and he'll win the Olympia too. It's ridiculous how people write him off. You know, he's beaten all the top guys this season except Hadi. And he has beaten Hadi before. He's beaten Samson. He's beaten Hadi. He's beaten Nick a couple times now. Let's go to his routine from the Arnold, because that was a great look for him. Didn't look as good at the Pittsburgh. AC Samson, AC Summerfield. Well, there's a good comparison. This is some good footage of Andrew Simpson and Derek, although it's going to cut to a 2-shot with Samson and Derek right there and hold it for a while. I mean, they both looked really good there. Samson clearly was just a little bit blurry. George UK, Samson better than the rest. George has been around a long time, guys, like me. George knows his shit, so. He is in the UK, so he might be a little biased, but no. You know, it's like when's the prejudging for Opens? That's next Friday, guys. So you want to go to MrOlympia.com, MrOlympia.com for all the info, and that's where you can get the pay-per-view. MrOlympia.com. I think you can remember the name of that website. It usually starts at like 7 o'clock, but the men go on last, the open men. So a lot of times the open men don't go on until, one year they went on past midnight. It was awful. The midsection is the focal point. I agree, Black Patron. The issue is that Nick fans will not judge the Olympia. Nick needs for the other top 3 guys to be off to have a chance. Yeah, I mean, the fans like what they like, but they're not always looking. Actually, they're rarely looking at these guys the way a judge would look at them. Nick's pecs are small as midsection. Yeah, that is true. I mean, sounds brutal, but it's true. Hopefully they don't let Nick win. Violence shouldn't go in the searching, or Big Ramy was a terrible bistro. Well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Such a uniqueness to his insertions. Any news from Big Ramy? Will he compete this year's Olympia? Good question. I don't think he said jack on his Instagram. Big Ramy. I'm sure he hasn't. Could he pull a surprise? Yeah, he could. Could he be prepping secretly the way Arnold did? I remember Arnold did that in 1980. This is old. Yeah, he's just reposting someone else speculating about him making a comeback. He's not saying anything. He has not said one word as far as I know. But wouldn't that be crazy if he just shows up at the Meet the Olympians and he's competing? Paco Batista, you remember them. George. Samson Mel's plan, win by a distance and win the next 2-3 years. Got some man himself. Well, you've got contact with Samson, so that sounds exciting. I mean, I'd love to see Samson take his physique to that next level of condition and win and hold it for a few years, because the title has changed hands 7 times in the last 8 years. Not that that's a truly horrible thing. It's exciting for the fans. It gives different guys a chance to win, but at the same time, it's not that exciting when the same guy wins for years and years and years. The fans do get sick after about 3 or 4 years, like into the Haney reign, the Dorian reign, the Ronnie reigns. The fans are like, what else you got? What else you got? I'll put up that guest posing. No, let me put up Derek, man. Let me put up Derek. This is Derek when he won the Olympia 2023, which I still think this was his best look so far. He's had a lot of different looks. Mutant ascends to the top this year. That's Nick. Next 2 nemesis are protruding gut, structurally, aesthetically superior competitors. Valid points, Callian. If Martin just improves on that leaked photo, keeps these lines, he's going to look great. Just a deep lineup for him. Yeah, Martin's great, but there's a lot of great guys, so they're not all going to win. Jay Cutler City would have no problem with Martin winning last year. I think he said that on my interview, didn't he? Maybe. I don't know. I did have him on the channel a couple days ago. If you didn't watch that, please check it out. Tyler Mannion also had Martin beating Nick last year. Yeah. So yeah, it was a close call, very close call. Each of their camps is gonna be cheering. Oh, dude, it's gonna be nuts in there. Behrouz top 4. I agree, Mike. That's very, very, very likely scenario. Just go pose by pose, to be honest. So your stuff. I have 9 guys in my top 6. I have like 10 guys in my top 6. So even more than you. It's a good thing that the show's wide open. Good Vito can do really well too. Yeah. Let's go to Vito. What the heck? Why not? Good Vito. So Vito had a great couple great showings earlier this year and last year. He's had a couple good seasons. So can he put it together for the Olympia? We don't know, guys. Remains to be seen. That'll finish in a second. It'll go to Vito. Next year's going to be even crazier. Every year is crazy. Regan, we'll check out Regan in a second. Good Vito, back still needs a lot of improvement. It's not the greatest, but that looks pretty good. That's good Vito we're looking at. Vitaly Ugulnikov, or as they call him, Good Vito. Good Vito. I don't see Regan in the top 6, so that's why I'm really not focused. I'm focusing on the guys I think have a really strong chance of placing in the top 6. Doesn't mean other guys can't. Tonio has a chance. Regan has a chance. Rubiel, who knows? I mean, Bonac. There are guys who definitely have a chance. It's just going to be tougher for them based on what I'm seeing. Well, stacked Olympia since 2013. That was a good one. The gap between first place and 6th place was very tight. A lot of quality. To me, Behrouz is better than Martin, and Martin got 4th last year. I like a lot of things about. I think Martin has better structure and shape overall. Behrouz has better muscle detail, better muscle maturity, and it's crazy because they're not that much difference in the age. I know Behrouz is only 31 or 32. He's early 30s. I think Martin's still in the late 20s, 28 or 29. Sam Fishman goes saying the guy that looks worse on Stein will be the winner. Well, if so, that's it. How's your shoulder recovery? It's going very well. I never stopped training, Rick. I can get this arm. This is the new shoulder. I can get that almost as high as the other arm, which I haven't been able to raise it that high in at least 10 years. So I'm pretty happy. Go back to the show. Samson came in super dry, he lights up, but he never has yet. He has never yet. We'll see. This could be the year, guys. This is the year. I'll tell you, when that lineup walks out on stage next Friday night, oof, we'll be on the edges of our seats at home. They'll be screaming their lungs out, going hoarse at the show. It's going to be insanity. These stupid masks and costumes. Well, technically, they're not supposed to have props. They can't ban dancing, but from what I understand, props are not allowed. I don't know why they haven't called these guys. If Andrew finally achieves better conditioning, his hamstrings bounce up fullness, everyone's in trouble. Oh, yeah, I think Andrew's fantastic. I'm a huge Andrew fan. This was so this is a lot of people go back to this look when he won the Texas I think this was his second out of 3 Texas Pro wins right here, but a lot of people love this version of Andrew. Fullness condition was pretty good. Still not as good from the back as I want to see it. 5'7", 280. Yeah, we're talking about Nick Walker. I don't think he's going to be 295, but 5'7", 280. That is a giant human being. Very good seats in Orlando. More low, yeah. Last year it was 23 road back. So close. Yeah, I'd say if you're in the first, I don't like to be any further back than 15 rows, but I'm spoiled. I was usually in the press section. Andrew had years to achieve that dugout hamstring answer. Yeah, I don't see a lot of improvements in Andrew, honestly, over the past couple of years. I like Sim Zeeks. I think Zeeks is who wows me the most. That's apples and oranges right there. Body one starts in the middle. Alone Powers. I agree with you, sir. Andrew blows it with his posing. Poses times doesn't want to be there. He doesn't have a lot of energy on stage. Doesn't bring that fire. Like Nick comes out there and is like roaring pretty much. It's Vito. What else we got with Vito? Let's go back to his winning the Arnold Brazil way back in, I think that was April. Yeah, slow motion walk. I got Brandon Curry beating Hadi. That would be a shock. Brandon, still a fantastic physique. He's in his 40s now. I do believe his best years are behind him, but he's still hanging in there. Last year was the first year since 2018, I think, that he'd been out of the top 5. So Brandon, I wish him the best. We'll see what happens. Rami used to look so crazy. Okay, discount code for Olympia. I do not. I didn't partner up with them at all. Brandon Curry at 4th beating Hadi. Yeah, it could happen. It's a long shot though. Blame Kansas. It's a long shot. I remember when Rami's quads were unreal. They look normal next to Rubiel's. Nah, we've never seen them next to each other. I'd love to see that. Samson, Walker, Derek, Curry, and Hadi. I think Derek's best look was on the Arnolds last year. You mean earlier this year? I think you want to say. I think that's what you mean, because he wasn't. Hadi wins Arnold. He didn't do the Arnold last year. He did it this year. Yeah, this was Derek at the Arnold Classic in March of this year when he won. And it was a great look for him. The legs were nice and full. They lost some of that pop and fullness by the time he got to Pittsburgh. Since when he'll get exposed. This is a mutant year. Hadi's too blocky. Derek's side poses are slept on. Oh, no, he's got fantastic side. I love his side chest. The mutant is a people's champ, but it ain't a popularity contest. Correct. It ain't. It is not. If Hadi's blocking the winner at his neck. I heard him called SpongeBob, which is brutal. He's not square. But I still thought it was funny. He was clever. Damn, this Lissus experience is going to be the best. Yeah. Well, this year, not last year. Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. It was so long ago. It seems like it was last year. Doesn't the Arnold seem like forever ago? Samson, number 1. Walker got better legs than Hadi. No, he does not. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. From the side, maybe. He's got great legs from the side, Nick. From the front, Hadi beats him. in the quads. Samson, Nick, Run Harris. Ha ha. Same for the win. Behrouz in the first call out. Sam still got this since he's most complete now. Obviously, big enough to go against the others. We're ranking Nick Walker versus Hadi. Martin has way better quad sweep. He's more complete than Behrouz. Yeah, Behrouz doesn't have great quad sweep. Not at all. I agree. Martin, I mean, if you want to pick things apart, I mean, you could. All these guys have something that someone else doesn't have. You could do that all day. The Behrouz Kool-Aid. I think Hadi's way better than Nick. I mean, Nick has never beaten Hadi yet. This could be the year that he finally does it, but they faced off a few times so far. Actually, only once, right? 22 Olympia. Yeah, he didn't do 23. He didn't do 24. He didn't do the. No, I think so. Nick has only faced Hadi once. Yeah, that's right. Hadi's still better than Nick. Goes by pose. I mean, there's a reason Hadi's just been Mr. Olympia. There's a reason. The contest may. What else do I want to show? I want to get going soon. Samson wins, maybe. I like that one. That's a good clip. Because I'm curious. I want to see if the money goes up this year. 600 last year. Nick just pulled out. No, he didn't. I got Curry as my sleeper to beat Hadi. That's a joke. I'm sure it's a cruel joke. Curry had one of the best back shots. Oh, Curry was a beautiful physique. He was Mr. Olympia for a reason. He won the Arnold twice. Xandu's fourth year in bodybuilding. That's all. Oh, I agree. I was there when he turned pro. 2022. Arnold amateur. He has not been a pro very long, guys. The Nick fans are arguing it's a muscle competition. Why didn't so many mass monsters win? I mean, if it was just a muscle competition, Marcus Rule would have won. Nasser somebody would have won. I don't think you'd say Greg Kovacs. His physique was just awful, awful shape. Going green, whoever takes up space, stick in the shed toe. Just freak. Samson should win. 8 mandatory. That's glaring. Weakness for starters. What? Hadi's quads are cross-straight with deep separation, crazy detail. Nick simply doesn't have that detail in the quads. Yeah, Nick does not have a lot of quad detail. From the side, his legs have a lot of detail and separation, stuff like that. Martin's greatest strength is balance. Yeah, Martin has beautiful shape and symmetry. It's a great structure and shape. It really is. The winner needs to carry his title well. Like Samson is an ambassador sport. Well, doctor, it could be Samson again. Like if Krizo was here next year. I don't know why he didn't. Well, obviously he tried to qualify. He did the Pittsburgh show in New York Pro. Can we get a Samson versus Sean Ray comparison, please? I don't know how to do that. Simple as no one will know who went to the day of the show. Best wishes. Yeah, 100% CK, 100% true. Black Patron, we'll see Krizo right after the Olympia. Yeah, Prague, he's doing the Prague. He's going to have to beat Keon. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see Krizo at the Olympia next year, I'm pretty sure. Krizo needs more ass. That's funny. Wait, there's something going on. I did get some weird update. Hang on. Could I be the first one to break it? I'm just trying to see if there was anything to that Nick rumor. No, nothing to it. It's a joke. You're right. Oh well. All right, guys. I got to get going. I appreciate you all watching. I've had 2 really cool videos, Olympia preview shows in the past couple days with Lee Haney and Jay Cutler. So if you haven't watched those, please check those out. I'll be doing coverage all week, of course. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet during the show. Still kind of work that out, but appreciate you all watching. Have an awesome weekend, guys, and I'll see you again right here soon. Peace out.